which is going to be about the microphone. So it was actually,
we got.
Oh my God, we just talked over each other.
We're doing it.
Andrew, why don't you take this one away? Because I kind of told you about it, but then you're the one who convinced me to actually get it. So why don't you kind of share your experience with it?
Yeah, that's so funny. Actually, I want to just take a quick step back, more of a high level before we jump into talking about mics. Essentially, what Matt and I are highlighting for everybody here is the fact that there's production quality and then content quality. And the reason why we're highlighting that for all of you is because creating content moving forward is going to just become more and more important. Because yes, a lot of people are talking about AI and automation disrupting jobs and whatnot. But when it comes to content creation, people resonate with people at the end of the day. So you have to ask yourself, how do you rise above all the noise? How do you stand out in the crowd? Because content creation is a very crowded space, right? So if you are in the informational almost don't want to say educational, but if you're in the informational thought leadership space, then I would, it's my honest personal opinion to downgrade the importance of production quality, because it's all about message over production. But if you're an entertainer, if you're in entertainment, then you almost need to flip the script. You need to put much more priority on production quality, and then back that up with the message. Now, having said that, clearly, if you got the best of both worlds, because there are so many people creating content, and for you to rise above the noise and really stand out in a crowded space, and you spend a little bit of investment and time and energy into setting up proper equipment so that you can show up in a marketplace in a way that your competitors are not showing up. I can't tell you how many times I've been on Zoom calls, and yeah, Matt, I'm with you on that point, man. I'm not a big fan of Zoom either for a bunch of reasons, but I can't tell you how many times I showed up on a Zoom call and they noticed that they could hear me a lot clearer. They noticed they could see me a whole lot better. And they just, when you're looking at that gallery view, because there's a bunch of people on the call, your eye naturally gets drawn to the person who has the most professional setup. This is the equivalent of showing up to a business presentation in a suit and tie, or basically showing up in a situation at your very best, right? So that you feel more confident, and so that you show the peers in your space that you're here to meet, you're here to, and you're a serious player, and that you mean business, right? You're not goofing around here. Now, yeah, we are using the Shure MV7 mic, and yeah, Matt, you were the first to flag this mic for me. I didn't realize that Shure made a mic that was USB friendly, so that definitely certainly waved a big flag in my face when you pointed that out. And yeah, you pointed out earlier, I'm a digital nomad. So I'm in San Jose, Costa Rica right now. And I honestly got worried as soon as Matt flagged this for me, because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my hands on something like this. Found myself going to a camera store. They pointed me to a music shop. So no matter where you're watching this from right now, you're probably going to be able to gain access to either Amazon or do what I did and go down to your local music shop. Not only was I able to get the MV7 Shure mic, but I was able to buy their very last boom right off the wall. I got the display version of their boom so that I could properly place the mic in front within a reasonable amount to really maximize the quality that this mic really offers. And again, this is one of those situations where if you got the budget, if you have the willingness to invest a little bit into your production level of quality, then yeah, you're going to be able to stand out in a place that is very, very crowded. But how are you going to show up in a way so that you can actually gain more attention in your niche, in your section of the marketplace, above and beyond what your competition is already doing? That's the idea. Matt, I haven't used any other high-end mics other than this one, so I'm going to pitch it back your way there and see what you think of it so far.
So I previously had the Blue Yeti, which was, it's kind of a popular brand name, I guess, for microphones. I think that audio quality is more important than video quality. So if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you could probably tell right now our video quality is probably so-so. I think that we could probably do better. But there's a saying that I love that's in the startup world, that is, if you're not embarrassed about the first version of your product, you launch too late. So I really want to be able to look back at this in a year from now and say, what the sorry. Andrew and I agreed that we're not swearing on this podcast. So that's going to be your first bleeper. We're going to say, what the hell were we doing? So right now, I'm using like a webcam as one of my cameras, and I'm using my iPhone as the other camera. Yeah, when I was doing research on microphones, I was looking on Amazon and just wherever, and looking at different reviews. But what I kept noticing was all the big podcasts that I would watch, like video podcasts, I guess I was watching, they all had the same Shure mic. So I actually Googled like what Shure mic was this person using or that person using. And that's how I came across his mic. So it wasn't as prominent when actually kind of searching on Amazon and looking at reviews, but just noticing that all the, biggest podcasters were all using this mic. So I mentioned this to Andrew, and then, a couple of days later, he's like, I bought it. And so I said, okay, well, if he bought it, I have to buy it. So then I immediately ordered it too. And so we're both pretty happy with it. I think it is. I recorded some videos. I was doing some screen recording and stuff. The sound was great. I can't wait to hear what this is going to sound like when we actually produce these videos. But in terms of usability and so on, it's been great. So I hear a lot of people talking about different mics for podcasting and different investments. This one was around $300-$400 or so. And if you're going to be doing a podcast or doing a show like this, as soon as I invested into the microphone, I knew, and when I saw that Andrew invested into it, I knew the show was real. So it kind of felt like, it kind of made it like this show is going to happen, right? Because we just put in whatever $300 or $400 in these microphones, So that was my feeling. I don't know about you, Andrew, but.
No, I love it, man. I love it. I would have never known about this mic. It just goes to show you how important it is to actually network with other marketers, right? Or network with other creators, because I really didn't have the foresight to Google and do a search into this. So right on, man. I appreciate you flagging this for me. And this is another reason why we created the show Good Morning Marketers, because we certainly spend and live and breathe marketing. And like Matt's been in the game a lot longer than I have, but I've been around the block a few times now. And there's certainly marketing is just like anything else at the end of the day. You can do it really, really right, do it really, really wrong. And Matt and I are going to have a lot of fun creating this show for more marketers and creators out there.
Yeah, and just so you guys know,